Hey everyone, welcome back. Dimma here. I'm really excited about today's video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys useful tips and tricks, information that I think will help you become that woman in your 20s. And when I say that woman, what does that mean? It means like a version of yourself that I think you're really happy with. A version of yourself that is like an actualization of like your dreams, and just a version of yourself that you're really happy with. Is almost aspirational even to you. That version of yourself, okay? These points, I've broken them into 5, and a lot of things flow from these 5 points, but I think just even knowing what they are extremely important. So like I said, I'm really excited. I think that a lot of you people are going to find this video helpful. I also think that it's going to be a video that will make for easy reference for any time that you think that you've forgotten and you're not quite sure and you need a little brush me up or just key pointers as to what to do. This is the video for you, okay? Okay, before we start, I want to say a very big thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I'm kind of in a transitional phase in my life. There's a lot of planning going on, a lot of things that I have to think about, a lot of people that I have to talk to and communicate information to at the moment. So therapy is really helping me, okay? If you do not know about BetterHelp connects you to a licensed therapist who is trained to give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be hard for so many reasons. People also find face-to-face therapy a bit intimidating, and I understand all the reasons why. With BetterHelp, things are a lot more flexible, okay? With BetterHelp, you can find a therapist and have your therapy sessions via a phone call, like phone conversation, via chat, instant messaging. You're able to chat on days that you don't want to talk or see your therapist face-to-face. You also have a video call option where it's like you guys are having a chat. If you want it more formal, you set up a computer. It's like you're in a meeting. If you want it even more casual, you can have it on your mobile device and just have it with you as you have your session. So for whichever of these 3 you prefer, there's an option for you. BetterHelp can match you to one of over 30,000 licensed therapists in their network, which gives you access to a wider range of expertise than may be available in your area. To get started, all you have to do is go to www.betterhelp.com/dimma and fill out a questionnaire that will be offered to you at sign up. This is going to help them assess your needs and then match you, considering your answers, match you to a therapist that is suitable for you. Once you complete the sign-up process, you get matched to a therapist, in most cases within 48 hours or less. Once you are matched, you'll be able to schedule your therapy sessions at a time that is convenient for you. If for any reason you feel like the therapist that you've been matched with is not the right fit, you can very easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without worrying about insurance or about who is in your network. Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier and happier life. So if you think that you could benefit from therapy, then please consider it. I'll leave all the additional information that you will need in the description box. Again, the link will be in the description box. It's www.betterhelp.com/dimma. Clicking on that link helps support this channel. It will also give you 10% off your first month on BetterHelp. Number 1 for my tips and tricks is to just be overall conscious about your health. I think that there's this thing that a lot of us do where we're just cruising through our 20s. We feel like we're indestructible. We do not think that a lot of things concern us. The earlier you start paying attention to your body, your health, the better it is for you. And I'm not even going to focus on working out and getting active and all of that, because I've kind of highlighted the importance of this in previous videos, but I really want to focus on just lifestyle choices and choices we make around diet. I think that it's really important to understand how your body feels after you've eaten or after you've consumed certain things. I think that sometimes a lot of us actually don't even pay attention to like what happens immediately after, and we think that the way we feel after we've eaten a lot of things is very normal, and we'll kind of notice over some time if we've gained weight, but that's not just it. The way certain things sit in your stomach, the way that you feel after you've eaten certain things is actually very important. I've also seen people like kind of join bandwagons when it comes to diet, and even me, I've been a victim of this, where you're told things like, oh, try this diet, or this diet is good, and it has all these like amazing results. I remember when keto was all the rave, and I have friends who tried keto and legit ended up in the hospital. So what I'm basically trying to say is Pay very close attention. The fact that everybody on social media is saying that something is perfect or is the next best thing, pay close attention to how you respond when you introduce that thing, or how your body responds when you introduce that thing to your diet. Very important. Number 2 for me is about style. And this is one of those ones that I think I kind of figured out early on. I think by my mid-20s to late 20s, I had clocked this, and it did so much for me. It did me a lot of favors, and it just made a lot so much easier for me when it comes to style. There's one thing I think that, before that, let me tell you guys what I was doing. And it's also something I feel like a lot of people do on social media, is when something is trending and you convince yourself that because everybody's wearing it, then you have to wear it as well. And then sometimes when you wear it and it doesn't look the way it looks on the models that you purchased this item because of, there's a lot of self-hate that even comes with it, because you begin to think, oh, maybe if I lose weight, or maybe if I wasn't like this and all of that, I can look like my mates. That's the thinking that I see, that I know that I had at a point, and I know that a lot of young people struggle with thoughts like this. When it comes to style, the number one advice I'll give is to please go stand in front of a mirror and take inventory of your body from head to toe. Look at your arms. How long are they? Your torso. Do you have a longer torso? Do you have a shorter torso? Some women just have longer torsos and shorter legs. You could have a shorter torso and very long legs. You could also just have very long legs. Your torso could also just be average size. I'm just trying to explain to you that there's so many things that make you up, okay? And when you're shopping clothes, it's important that you take note of these things. How wide are your hips? How small is your waist? How wide are your shoulders? These things really matter, and it will guide you, when it comes to just shopping for clothes. Are you petite? Are you tall? A lot of websites now have a petite section and a tall section, and that's because it wasn't always like that for a very long time. But then there are still body parts. You could be a tall person with a short torso, and as a result, certain things are bound to look a certain way on you. So basically what I'm trying to say here is, see your body, understand it, and appreciate it for what it is. Even understand your body type. I remember that style was such a difficult thing for me until I actually figured out what my body type was. I've said it here that I'm an inverted triangle. I think that's what it is called. I hope I am not I'm not making a mistake. Are you pear-shaped? There's so many. Okay, are you round? There's so many. And let me tell you something, your style gets so much better the minute you clock and accept the type of body that you have. You will realize, and it will become so clear to you, that there are so many popular women, celebrities who you admire, who have the exact same body type as you. Nothing removed, nothing taken away. Okay, but sometimes I think shopping on social media and just being on social media just convinces us that if you're not a certain body type, then you're ugly or something is wrong with you. There's something flying around in this room. Jehovah Jireh, please help me because I don't have energy. Guys, I was so distracted by that thing that just flew past me. But take inventory of the type of body that you have. There's so many women who look like you. One thing I remember then, one of the first things I did was I went and did celebrities with inverted triangle body types. A lot of people will pop out that will shock you. That you think that their style is amazing, but they actually look like you, but you've never actually paid enough attention to notice or realize. Sometimes it could even be because you could be tall and could be an inverted triangle, for example, but you don't have an average torso, you have a shorter torso, okay? You could actually just Google that and make your search more specific. And the more specific your search is, Google is actually very, very good at pulling up the results that you want. And begin to make mood boards. Begin to look at how these people look. When they're wearing trousers, begin to look at the type of trousers or pants that they wear because it flatters their exact body types. Begin to pay attention to these things. Styling becomes so much easier for you after this, trust me. Just draw inspiration from them. So the reason why I say celebrities first is that celebrities just give you an idea. And then the minute you begin to see and understand, you're now able to actually recognize women who have your body type very easily beyond celebrities, even on social media. You begin to pay attention to the really stylish ones. Pay attention to the way they dress. This will help you. It will help guide you, and it will also help you develop and just establish your own style very important. I feel like there are websites that I know that I don't even go to because all the models have a specific body type. And there are websites where like everything is kind of like very diverse. They have like a tall section, there's a curve section, there's like an hourglass section. They have all these things because they're actually acknowledging different body types. But there are websites where you go to like the models actually just look the exact same. Okay. And one thing that I was doing, and I know that a lot of younger women do, is you buy things because they look good on someone. And then when you buy it and you try it on, you become frustrated with yourself because of the way it looks on you. And there's a lot of self-hate, okay, that comes with that type of realization. It's not you, my darling. It's the way that they are modeling clothes. Even with here in Lagos, I'm even saying that this is very, very common. With a lot of Instagram stores, they use models that have very specific proportions every time that they are displaying something. And if you understand your body type, you're now able to be like, okay, this person's body type, this thing might not hit me where it's hitting this model. This thing might actually not fall on my frame the way it falls on this model's frame because they have this exact body type. It's actually very, very important. It will help you a lot. Number 3 is finances. And in this particular area, I would say to try to acquire new skills. Brush up, identify the ones that you already have, and also try to acquire new ones that could just give you an edge, whether it is freelancing that you do or you work in an organization that has structure, things that could actually just give you an edge or create pathways for possible promotion for you. Do these things. I consciously try to acquire new skills, okay? And I know that a lot is normally said when it comes to skill acquisition or training or doing all those things. And I've talked about this before, and there's so many videos here on YouTube. But then I think as early as possible, I think you begin to actually practice or try to understand the importance of letting your money work for you, growing your money. So as outside earning, because I think that when it comes to finances in your 20s, a lot of people tend to focus on actually earning, but not a lot is said about growth, okay? Begin to practice saving, okay? It could be locking your money away. It could be just consciously saving and knowing when to limit yourself after you've earned. It could also just be investing, buying stocks. There are apps that you can do these things on, mutual funds. There are banks that offer these services and there is no age cap or age limit. I think when you start practicing with these things, and even you will make bad decisions at a point, but when you actually understand that having money is not just having it sitting in a bank and making as much as you can, beginning to think about money as something that you could grow, and even in a way that is even passive, it helps. Okay, it shapes the way you think. So when it comes to finances, I would just say overall practice acquiring new skills and developing new skills and learning as much as you can to help you with whatever you've decided to do. And also practice growing and saving money. It's not something that you have to start doing the minute you turn 30. There are people who made so much money in their 20s. I admire those people because they really were aware of these things and they went out of their way to actually seek information and knowledge in this one area. So begin to think about things like that. Number 4 for me is influence, and it is you just paying very close attention to who and what you let influence you. Okay, we scroll mindlessly on social media a lot of the times that we don't even know half of what we consume, and even on Twitter, and before you know it, you're thinking in absolutes. There are no gray areas anymore. It is this way or no way at all, and you're taking in and consuming so much from people. Just before you know it, you don't even know who you are. And sometimes you can start off, it's just like you agreeing or having interest in this one small area, but before you know it, you're on a train that you don't know where it's taking you to. You have to be very, very conscious about what you actually consume. And even me, like sometimes when you're not conscious, like if you're not conscious, before you know it, like I said, you see yourself thinking absolutes. So what I think I have seen is, I've seen a lot of people who are very, very rigid with the way that they think, or like just, that's like the result of this. I'm just going by observation. And then there's also a lot of discontent. Like I've seen young women who will reach out to me every time I do Q&As, and you see people who feel like they're absolute failures because they are not millionaires. When I say millionaires, not small like 1-2 million, like they are not proper ballers in their early 20s. And it's because you're seeing so many people who are living a certain type of life on social media, and then you go on ahead to convince yourself that these people are doing life the right way. I don't know if people understand how much of what we actually see like 20-year-olds are doing. And I'm not saying that the people who are doing these things like are bad people or they're not earning money. A lot of them are actually working their asses off, and they have enjoying or reaping the benefits of all their hard work. However, what I'm trying to say is that this is not the case for majority of people. On an average, it's not even. So a lot of the things that you're seeing, they actually belong, I would say, in the minority. You people don't understand that some of the things that I think, or some of the expectation and pressures I see that 20-something-year-olds, women in their early 20s have or put on themselves, like the pressures they put on themselves right now, are things that I would say were absolutely ridiculous 7 years ago. Nobody was even thinking about all those things. But now people are so convinced that they have to have it all figured out at this stage in their lives, and they have to have millions in their accounts. That's not it, guys. Be very, very careful what you begin to believe based on observing someone else's life. Where you are in your early 20s, if you don't have your finances figured out, that is absolutely fine. That's normal. I'm not saying that you should be reckless with your spending and not paying attention, but there's also things that come with time, comes with knowledge, comes with experience. And as long as you know that you're trying your best, that's all that matters. I don't think that it's normal for you, as somebody who's 22, 23, to think that it's normal for you to have to go on 6-7 trips a year, international trips. I don't think that it's normal for you to think that, oh, you have to be able to spend 400,000 to 1 million naira on hair, beads, braids, or bundles, or weaves, or wigs. Be easy on yourself, my darlings. And then the last one, I would say, for relationships, both platonic and romantic, I would really stress the importance of trusting your gut when it comes to people. Looking back and just some of my failed relationships, I'm not even talking about romantic here, even when it comes to regular friendship, a lot of it and a lot of the way things played out had me ignoring like my gut feeling. I did it a lot, as like in ways that I shouldn't have. And the consequences are always there. Because what happens is that there's always something that your subconscious is trying to tell you. For some reason, you're trying to rationalize it, you know? So sometimes, it's not sometimes, most of the time, don't ignore your gut feeling. And if there's now an area that you guys have to have a conversation around, then have it. Have it. It's important. Have it. Okay, but don't ignore your gut feeling. Also communicate as much as you can. I know that some of us are a bit shy and this is not the easiest thing for us, but begin to practice in your 20s so that it's just much easier by the time you get to your 30s. You know what you want, establish your boundaries. And you can have boundaries, you know the things that ruffle your feathers, but communication is so important, and being able to firmly, like in a very firm way, communicate what you want and say how something made you feel. It's going to save you a lot of stress from people who want to take advantage, from narcissists, from people who are just not good people, okay? And it's not even just for new relationships, it's also for existing relationships as well. You see that people will tell you, and I've talked about this particular point before. And I would also say to just also be more intentional when it comes to relationships at this age. Because by the time you get to your mid-20s, you see that you are no longer... Because a lot of the friends that we made when we were much younger, we were either in primary school, secondary school. We were all at a stage in our life where we were forced to interact with people. We had to do things with groups of people. We had to go to classes. We had to do uni. And by the time you hit your mid-20s, life becomes a bit more solitary. You're no longer in, you find yourself in situations where you are actually making new friends. And that is the reason why I feel like I keep getting questions from women every time I do Q&As, asking Dimma, how do I make new friends? It's because after a certain age, if you're looking to make new friends, you just have to be more intentional about it. And even with romantic relationships, you have to be more intentional. You at least have to leave the house, and you have to be open to shooting your shot or receiving shots. Because a lot of the relationships we found ourselves or we even made when we were much younger, there was not a lot of thought or effort. They just kind of happened. There are people that you're friends with now that you've been friends with for so long that you cannot even remember how you people became friends. The environment or situation, it could just be from somebody being your neighbor in class. You were put in environments and situations that just made it easy. The older you get, you have to be more intentional. So these 5 things I think that a lot of you are really going to appreciate and find helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you're not yet subscribed. Let's also have a conversation in the comment section. Are there more things that you think will really, really, really help you that I didn't cover in this video? Share. I'm actually very, very interested in reading them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you're not yet subscribed. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah.